Well, for some reason I see a little blinking square. Like right around here. I don't know what's causing that. Checking. Oh, okay. Well, I'm just gonna get started. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that little blinking square. It doesn't show up in the infinite hallway. It's only in the broadcast. I don't know. Oh. Maybe it's my computer. No, it's... Well, whatever. Hello, welcome. Just got started. I don't know if the little blinking square is visible to anyone else, but like right up by the word dungeon, there's this little blinking square. I don't know what's causing it. Okay, you don't see it. That's fine then. It's just on my end. That's good. That's a relief. For some reason, my little laptop is just showing me that blinking square, and it's not a problem with the laptop. It's something that I'm getting from the broadcast. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I am working on the Forest Temple. And I'm working on other things. I'm probably going to retexture the Zora chest so that it uses a model that isn't vanilla, because it could cause problems. Let's see here. Yeah. It'll look pretty much like this, but not quite. I'll rework it. So that is ruins. There may be a model that I already extracted I can use. Data, meshes, architecture, temple. Also, I apologize for any background noise, but it is kind of warm today, so I'm just leaving the window open, and I live near a relatively busy road. This is annoying. Small chest with physics. Not what I'm looking for. Oh, Minish. Minish chest. Minish. Chest 01. It's not what I'm looking for. That is something else entirely. Ah, Ruin's large chest. That's what I was looking for. So, is this scaled up? I think this is scaled up. It's hard to tell. But I will see. I'll just direct this to the correct thing. Okay. Oh, no, went to weapons, architecture, temple, Minish, large chest, let's see. Yep, that is enlarged. That's what I thought. Okay, so I can't use that, because that one's going to be used for something else. So really, that should be in giant items, but I don't know if it's already used for something. Blue chest small. I might have to extract a new model. I don't think... Yeah, okay. That's no big deal. I'm going to open another window of the Explorer so that I can have a textures window. And this will be my mesh window. Skyrim, meshes, and it is dungeons. I have not done one of these streams in a long time. I haven't done one since February. That was the last time I did a live stream. I was gonna do one in March, but then the stuff happened. And part of my job was sort of rearranged, and it became doing live streams for my job. Which is kind of prevents me from having the desire to do live streams for fun, because I'm doing them for work. But things have settled down, and I'm sort of settled into a groove. Clutter. Oh, it's clutter. I've settled into a groove with my job, and so now I'm just doing this stream for fun. That's the story. Clutter, ruins, large chest. I saw it. Ruins. I could use the search function, but it's more satisfying when I find it myself. Ruins, large chest. It's not there. Clutter, ruins. Clutter, ruins. It should be clutter, ruins, ruins, large chest. But I don't see it. There it is. I don't know why I missed it. that is the mesh that I want. So I'll extract that. And copy, and by copy I mean cut. And mesh. Meshes, architecture, temple, Zora. Zora, the large chest. And I will follow how the texture set is set up. So it's top 2, bottom 2. Oh, that's the... Okay, this is the correct size. That is top 2. So we are going to switch this to textures, architecture, temple, Zora column, boom. And I will use the normal map with it. There we go. Default glossiness should not be that much. Stone. And I can also mess with the UVs, so I can actually make this... Well, it's okay if the Zora chest looks a little wet. It's a Zora chest, for crying out loud. So what I can actually do is I can use the UVs here and adjust it so that this symbol shows up a little better. Gives me a little more freedom, and I can adjust it so it doesn't look too terrible. I think it looks really good. Everything lines up really nicely. There are a few things like this that I want to adjust. Make that a little more coherent. So I'll rotate that and put it somewhere so that it ends up looking a little more reasonable. That looks good. That looks fine. But I want it to be all in one screen, so I'll put it right here. There we go. And the same thing for this crescent thing that went with it. This is a little trickier to use because there's not as much room for this kind of shape. Might be some room up here somewhere. Rotate it back to where it was. I could sit it in there. Alright, I'm gonna rotate it back. I'm actually probably gonna scale it down a little so it has a little more room to fit. That doesn't look bad. So I could put it in that kind of area. That doesn't line up with this very well. but I can adjust that. Okay, so there's a lot of things overlapping here. That whole situation needs to be moved. That's fine. I can leave that there. Sort of. I don't really like that. So I'm gonna should line all these up. Which one? Okay. That looks decent. Oh, I should have brought that whole thing along. That. There we go. Just gotta arrange that. That looks decent. Some nice edges. And that. Feel like that. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got the symbol. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoot this down so that the symbol is right there. It's a little stretched, but that's no big deal. And of course, that makes that kind of stretch out. Kind of want that to line up. Or maybe we don't. That actually looks alright. I think I'll leave it that the way it is. And I kind of want this to have the symbol too. So maybe this doesn't have the symbol at all. Just like that. And it lines up with those. And then the symbol is there. What is that? Big panel, but I can't. It's not this. That's the inside. Which I will have to adjust. Something I've discovered. It's surprisingly easy to set up these animations. It's just like you could program it entirely in Nifscope. It's just a matter of setting up a sequence, naming the sequence, and doing some minor change, doing some coding. So it takes a little bit of coding, but surprisingly easy to get those set up. Alright, where the heck is this panel, this front panel? Okay, it's not there. I mean, that's that. So that could be... I think that can stay. That can stay the way it is for now. Not sure you're seeing the right one. I mean, I'm... I am working on a stone chest, so if you're seeing a stone chest, that's what it... That's me. Okay. That's a relief. I was worried that my screen was set up wrong. Okay, well, what's that? That's good to know. I can use that. What is this? That's that, so I'm not going to worry about that. Alright, let's just grab a whole swath of things. It's not there. Maybe it's over here. It's not there. What the heck? Oh, that's because I'm just doing the lid. Should have edited the UV of the bottom. Okay. So that means this. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. So I'm gonna make that. And that will require a little changing of scale. So I'm gonna make the scale 0.1. That's pretty good. A little centralized symbol. Okay. I'm gonna finish the lid first, though. Just make sure the lid is nice and happy. Ah, welcome. We have a Dorito in the chat. So I'm going to make these top parts line up a little better. I don't want them sitting on that symbol. So I'm just going to scoot them in so they line up here. And that's a bit low. That should do. That way there's this little section here. And it's bookended by these. It doesn't really line up. I have it like that. I think the reason is this is flipped. So if I rotate this and flip it 180 degrees, I can make all those consistent with each other. There we go. There, that lines up pretty nicely. It's nice and symmetrical. I like this. I like the how this lines up. So I'm okay with that. I think this is okay. I think this works. Maybe. I guess I could try flipping those as well. And this I can move in. Of course, I don't really know where it's going to end up. Oh yeah, I had that kind of central. There, that looks pretty decent. Yeah, I might have to flip those. So those are over here somewhere. Might be here. Nope. Those are some of them. said, come on here, come on now. There we go. So that's one of them. Separate that out. Is this another? So I want this one. That's the outer one. I want them to be kind of like that one. Okay. I don't want to move that one. That one. Okay, so those two I will move. And you two are coming with me. In fact, I probably should make them overlap. There we go. And then I'm going to select them and flip them. Bam. And put them back where they were. Not sure about that. I think what would work if I flip them, like actually flip them. That way they're using the texture backwards. There we go, that looks pretty good. Those line up pretty nicely. I think the lid is good. I think the lid is done. Yeah. Okay, so now let's do the bottom. The bottom, no one's gonna see, but I could make it a little higher resolution. So this is the bottom. I assume this is the bottom. It's not the bottom. This is the bottom. Bottom? That's not the bottom. Heck is the bottom. This is the bottom. That's the bottom of the bottom. Okay. So I'm going to scale that up. B2, so that it uses higher resolution textures. And I'm just going to pop that. Plop it. I could put it there. That's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. Although it's black, and the rest of it is not, so that's reasonable. Yeah, that's more like it. So I'm gonna scale this. Nope, I'm gonna rotate it. It's gonna scale it just a teens. So that way this lines up. Alright. That looks a little better as the bottom. Alright, that's already been done. These are the nails. I think. What the heck are these? I think those are nails. Oh no, those are the little knobs. Okay, those need to go somewhere reasonable, like here. That's where those should be. In fact, why should this... Here's a better option. This shouldn't even be here. These little... Well, actually, that would be more complicated. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to keep those little knobs where they are. And they are linked with that bar. Cool. That's going to go over here. That looks fine. I don't know what your problem is. That one little... They're all connected somehow. Ooh. Wow, they're all part of the same mesh. That's interesting. I'm just going to leave them alone. That looks fine. This back part looks fine, but I'm going to rearrange them just a little so we don't have this edge. So, ooh, well, this will be tricky. Because this, that's all connected as one piece. That could be a little tricky, but where... These are what I'm looking for. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Let's bring those panels in, and now they have a nice little edge to them. In fact, what I'm going to do is what I did up there. I'm going to flip some of these. So I'm going to select... Oh, hang on. I missed parts. There we go. That... Let's see which one this is. Oh, that doesn't help. Okay, I'm actually going to leave them alone because they're all separate pieces. Like this thing, that just makes it way too annoying, so I'm just going to leave it all alone. They can do what they want. These panels, though, those need to change. I think those are here. And can arrange them like that. That looks pretty good. The chest already looks way better. Very happy with how it's turning out. What was I looking for? I think this whole thing here. Nope, I didn't want that. I didn't want that. Come on now. This, that's all part of the front section. So this is all connected. I can't really do anything with it. I can like scoot it around, but that's always gonna look like that along the sides. So I could take this whole thing and move it into a different position. Like I could give it that triangular bottom. But no matter what, there's always going to be that. Yeah, it's not always... oh, wait a second. This looks interesting. There's a bunch of Triforces if I have it set up like this. And the Triforces go all the way around the entire chest. I don't know what's going on here. That part is not playing nice. It's probably because I didn't pick it up, but I might do that. That looks really cool. And it lines up really nicely at the bottom, yeah. So I'll take this panel. This panel is not... It's right here. There we go. I don't know why that panel is separate. Where do you belong here? You do now. There. I kind of feel like of panels. Where are you? Where do you belong? I do not know what this is. I don't know where this thing goes. Oh, okay. That can stay right there, because that's the little knobs for that. The little sleeves. And then this, that's the little rolly-do. So that can stay. These are the nails, I think. Or they're just, I'll just put this one here. I don't know what those are. Maybe there are no nails. I'm thinking of a different chest. There are no nails on this thing. There's these little pegs, but there's no nails. I'm thinking of a different chest. I was looking for those. Not that. That's on the inside. Oh. It's right here. So that, if I wanted to, that's a little tricky. Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. If I wanted the Triforce pattern to continue, that's not really going to work. Take this whole thing, select connected, that whole thing, I bring it here, up here. Yeah, that's a little odd. Okay. I think that's fine. It looks way better than it used to. So for comparison, that's the original Zora chest right there. And I'm gonna do a preview. I'm gonna take a screenshot of it and open Photoshop. That's the original. And then this is the new one. I think it's an improvement. That's the original, and this is the new one. Boop, 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 boop. Yeah, the lid definitely looks better. That's the old one. It definitely doesn't look... Yeah. The old one looks all jumbled. The new one somehow looks taller because of the color. Ah, welcome. Yeah, I may have just finished the new Zora chest. I think it looks fine. I think that looks pretty distinct. That's a pretty decent design. Actually, what I could do here, there's one more thing that I could do. I could take this right here And I could bring that up to these shapes. Nah, I'll leave it alone. That's in a fine position. That looks alright. Yeah, that looks good. New Zora chest. Cool. Save that. And it's one of those things that, like, the texture ends up working so well that it's hard to tell that it's a retextured ruins chest. In fact, what I could do, I'm just going to do an experiment here. No, that would ruin the circular nature. Oh, I might be able to do it with the top, though. Let's see if we can flatten the top just a hair. Let's see what happens. We can flatten the top. Yeah, so we can flatten the top. And it still animates perfectly well. That gives it a different kind of look to it. So the top is a little flatter than a normal ruins chest. It kind of messes up the dimension of the Triforce symbols. But it makes it look a little different. Maybe I'll just leave it alone. It's such a small difference. Triforce. I mean, the Triforce symbols don't line up perfectly. But I like having that. I'll just leave it alone. It's not really that big of a difference. If I could squeeze the bottom without ruining this, then I would, but... yeah, I'll just leave it alone. So that's the new Zora chest. So now I have to integrate it, which is easy. I just have to make sure, let's see. So all of these will have to be rearranged so that they call to the new Zora chest instead of the old ruins chest. So, let the games begin. That's the old chest. Temple, Zora large chest. There we go. Oh. Come on. Go. Ding. And switch this around. Oh, cool. Well, that's easy. Boop. Now, the reason I did this was, A, it looked kind of weird. It looks alright, but it didn't look... It looked a little rushed. The other thing is, if someone has a mod that changes that Ruins Large Chest model, then that can cause some problems. So this guarantees that all Zora chests will look the same, and it guarantees that there aren't any compatibility issues, and it makes them look a little nicer. Cool. Now I'm gonna save. Creation Kit has been a lot better at saving recently. Still takes some time. It's still hard to tell how long it's gonna take. But it should only take a few minutes. I'll check the Discord. Oh. Nothing. Just one comment that I missed. Not a problem. So, fixed that. I think I need I can work on the magic beans. The magic beans will be coming with the forest temple. So I'm gonna make the magic beans. What I want, I don't really. I know what people would want me to do, and what people would want me to do is to make them look exactly like this. And that's great. I totally understand why that's what people would want. But I am always adapting and sort of modifying things. And these are exceptionally rare in Relics of Hyrule. There's currently one sample that's planned. There's going to be another sample somewhere else. So I'm going to start by making them retextured Jazzbay grapes. And we'll just go with that. Because this doesn't look like a bean. Like, I mean, it looks like a bean, but nothing's connected to anything. It's just a bunch of... The colors will be the same. I'll make a green leaf with little multicolored beans, but they're gonna look a little different. I always get a little nervous when I, deviate from the canon look, because I always worry that someone's gonna come in and say, "Hey, if you could maybe make them look exactly the way that they have always looked, that would be great." Something else I need to do is retexture this so that it's green. I wonder if there's another texture. I'm going to load up the texture. Scan. Whoop, not voices, although I will be interested in that at some point. Okay, textures. Let's see, this is Architecture Whiterun. I wonder if there's plants. Spiky grass. Tundra shrub. There's a leaf. Next leaf bug. Leaves, fall forest leaves, tree. It'd have to be a pine sapling, actually. Now that I think about it, it should be a pine sapling. What the heck do pine saplings look like? Can make that work. If I extract the mesh of a fern, that's textures, meshes, fern. If I extract sword fern. And sort of like stitch them together. I could make a pine sapling pretty easily. That could work. How are we doing? Still saving. Oh, just saved. Did not take very long at all. Alright, let's see. Where did that get extracted to? Plants. Meshes landscape plants. Landscape plants. Sword fern. Let's look at these sword fern meshes. That's not very pine tree like. That could work. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Don't want that, don't want that, don't want that. What, 4? No, 6. That could also work. Potentially. No. Alright, this looks like the one that we're gonna use. Although, it's a different kind of thing. It's not a... Maybe I should just say, don't worry about it. Just make these green. Although, actually what I could do is use this texture that these use and make this call to them. Boom, done. Problem solved. We have ourselves a... Just gotta make sure that the UVs are right because we don't want any floating leaves. Yeah, that looks... Alright. We can rearrange this. Get out of here, collision. Alright. This looks fine. This does not. This is not what we want out of life. Any hidden ones? No. Okay. All the ferns are on one texture set. Alright. Rotate 90. Where the heck? Okay, that's not really gonna work. Let's see here. Most of today's stream is brought to you by UV editing. UV editing. It exists. Alright. And the rest of these could be like that, but they need to be scaled down. Kind of weird looking. Yeah, they're kind of close together. That looks a little nicer if I have it like that. It kind of ends naturally, a little more naturally. clearly not designed for this kind of setup. The other option is whoop, no leaves at all. Nothing at all. Well, that kind of looks good. Oh, what I could do now. It's always gonna look a little odd. I feel like this should just be removed. So if I scale it down to like 0.5 and just put it in a black area, that looks fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's another one that should be removed. There's this one here. It's kind of funky town. Okay, that one's fine. That one's fine. It's one of these. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it is. Yeah, yes, it is. No, it isn't. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Scale 0.5. So, there. And actually, we could move all these up. Womp. Now we have our doofy little sapling. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, yeah. I will rename that. I'll retexture that. Okay, magic beans. I'm gonna rename this. Forest temple sapling. Blink. And you have the forest temple sapling. Instead of looking like the Elder Gleam, it's gonna look like the other thing. Texture, no. Clutter, no. Architecture. No, I was wrong, it's clutter. Hylian plants, magic beans, forest temple sapling. Boom. That's a little bag. Cool. Okay. Jazzbay. I extracted the Jazzbay things already. Jazzbay textures, and I will make them higher resolution. Clutter, Hylian plants, Flora Jazzbay. Probably actually switch these around. So that one's over here, the old one is there. And then I'll share that on Discord. Okay, Jazz Bay. Jazz Bay. So this is very low resolution. This is 512 by 512. And you can tell it is not very high resolution. But what I can do is I could improve it very nicely. First, so I could have. First thing I'm gonna do is make sure the leaves are the right color, because they are not. And then the berries, I wonder, I'm gonna check the high resolution textures. Okay, let's see if there's Jazz Bay grapes in here. If there are, I can see if those are. Okay, there's none in that pack. Hey, hello, friend. Could use this. Should be higher resolution. Yes, that is definitely higher resolution. That is a little nicer. So we're going to use this one instead. So, let's see here. Hylian plants. Plop that in there. Pink. And this is magic beans. Or magic strands. Beans. Magic beans. Magic beans. Open that up. Now, we only have... Well, actually, we could make 4. Okay. First things first, these guys need to be a different color. And it looks like this only uses this leaf. So we're going to make that leaf green. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up beans. Bean plant. Bean plant. Okay. That's suspicious. Get a nice color. And then we'll do a little of this. Boop. Blend that together. That's a nice leafy color. Now, these swatches, these are the it's going to be the beans themselves. I'm going to move that swatch over there. No, there's no room. If I want to at some point make a magic bean plant. Why am I just doing that? I should just do this. Boom. Now it's all green. It's always been green. Cool. And I can go back and recolor those. So, magic beans, there's a yellow, There's a yellow bean, so we need to get one of these to be yellow. So you are going to be my yellow bean. Yellow bean. Ugh. Yellow bean. And we need a red bean. Red bean. That can be overlay. Oh, somehow that actually worked. It's kind of a weird greeny color. Ew. Okay, let's just stick with color for now, and then I'll adjust it as needed. We need a blue bean. Why did you change? Blue bean. That looks reasonable. And we need a green bean. Green. Placeholder colors. Now let's see if there's a blending mode. That honestly looks okay. It's a little much. Color. Nope. Alright. Let's try desaturating them a little because actually what we could do is this. There we go. Some yellow beans on this plant. I don't know if I'll actually use this plant texture for this, but for anything, but it's worth a shot. Just making sure. Actually, what I should do is a color layer. That way it's guaranteed. Bean. Red bean will be a little trickier. got hit with a sense of, why am I doing this? Alright, I'm just gonna leave that alone, whatever. I might revisit that at some point, but we have a Magic Beans texture, and it does have alpha, so we're gonna save it. Magic Beans, interpolated alpha. And we are going to make this call to that Magic Bean texture. Choose plants. Not what I'm looking for. Hydean plants. Magic Beans. Okay. Now we have to make sure that the UVs are okay, because we don't. Uh-oh. Gotta adjust the alpha channel, because this is missing. Ding. Switcheroo. Wrong channel. There we go. So we have blue bean. Now we have the possibility. Now we have a blue bean. Looks a little weird. It's probably because the normal map isn't there, so I'll have to make custom normal map for it. So we have one red bean. We have 3 green ones, so we're going to have to rearrange the green one, make one green. One of the green one's blue. Two green. Ah, well that's not. There's the number of beans is not divisible by 4. But there are only, how many beans are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 3. Yeah, there's 7. There's 4 traditionally, so I could just make it so that there's 1 of each bean. Make the beans disappear. Blue beans disappear. And then make this yellow bean, and then change this one of these into a yellow bean. That looks fine. Alright, that works. Now I need to make a normal map of this. So... this. Plop that there. Magic beans in. Oh. Then should pop. Boop, there you go. Oh, there's a misplaced bean. It's this one. I'll just put it there. Yeah, little baby magic beans. Alright. Beans. The weight is 0.1. Magic beans. Magic beans. For some reason I'm not taking that environment map. Oh, doy. Didn't mean to do that. Ew. It's interesting. Well, whatever. I'll just flip it back to default. Alright, we have the magic beans. Okay, magic beans. And I might do something more with them. I might make it possible to change them into an alchemy ingredient. I don't know what they would do. But they exist. you so fancy looking? Okay, so that's what that looks like. Okay. Magic floating. That will be tricky to do. Unless I just made it paper thin. I have to think about that. They found me! Oh, no, they found someone else. I'm gonna save again. And I'm trying to think of what else I need. I don't think I really need anything else. So I could start working some more on the forest temple. Trying to think if there's any other models. Oh, actually I could look. So, for the glass, the Elden weapons that I'm planning, they're not gonna be just red glass weapons. That wouldn't work, because the glass weapons have a plant motif to them. So that wouldn't work for the Elden weapons that are volcanic. I can look at the glass weapons to see how they, like the models, how they make the glass shiny. But the Elden weapons themselves will be based on something else. So I'll need to make a dagger, a sword, war axe, mace, great sword, battle axe, warhammer, bow, Elden weapons, and arrows. I will look. was too rough. Zora already used ebony assets. Armos already uses Stalrim. Kind of want them to be kind of elegant. Twilight kind of use Nordic. Nordic could work for Elden weapons. Except that doesn't look quite, that doesn't, although, well, no, the Nordic weapons are just a little too on the nose. There's specialty gear. Let's look here. Meshes, data meshes. Ancient Lord. Specialty here, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, the ancient Nord weapons. They're a little rough. Yeah, that doesn't quite fit. Neither of those are Fulmer weapons, or Forsworn for that matter. Something that I could... Of course, they could be combinations. They probably will be. There's this stuff. Champion's tunic. No. Okay. Fortunately, this has stopped saving, so we don't have to worry about the Elden weapons quite yet. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, well, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna load up the Forest Temple. Now, there is a big, huge thing in the Forest Temple, so those of you watching the stream, and if you are watching after the fact on YouTube, you will get this preview of this big, huge thing. So this is your reward for either sticking around for the hour and a half that I've been streaming, or watching this thing for an hour and a half, or somehow skipping to the hour and a half mark. I'm going to explain how the Forest Temple is going to work. It's a little detailed, and I still need to set everything up, but this is my plan. So, actually I should start in Dryadic Passage, because that's where everything starts. You can already see the those two torches there while Dryadic Passage is loading. There we go. So this is Dryadic Passage. So you'll enter through Morwhitterjal. You have to get through the entirety of Morwhitterjal, and then that area where the vampire, the Gerudo vampire is. The reason she's there is because she knows that the Block of Time is buried, so she's looking for it. And so in 6.6 she will have found the Block of Time, but she can't get in there, and using the Song of Time you can get in there. So you enter through here. The water looks blue because of this thing, which I will turn off. Enter through here, pop in here, and Dryadic Passage, you come along. It's a pretty normal cave. I'm going to add more plant life. In fact, I can do that while we're talking here. Thicket. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Tree. Thicket. Thicket. There we go, some thicket. Everyone's favorite. Thicket. So you come on in. You're coming along. Oh no, there's a Spriggan. But the Spriggan doesn't attack. The Spriggans in Dryadic Passage are passive, and they're labeled passive Spriggans. So if you do see this Spriggan and attack it, I mean, you'll kill it, but it wouldn't attack you if it sees you. The Spriggans are set to wander the entire cell, or at least have a very wide radius of wandering, so you'll see them wander around. And you have two paths. You can go to the left or you can go to the right. If you go to the right, then you'll enter into this big room here. There's a tree in the middle. I should probably open that up so that it actually has light or something. Let's see here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Probably, yeah, mid-C. There we go. That way, it might have a little light. And you know what, I'll put a boulder there. Boulder medium. Little boulder here. Crackly. Few boulders. So that there's a little crack of light going through, aiming at this tree. Light, sunlight, just Bleak Falls sunlight on the tree, which I hid. So I'm gonna get that tree back. Okay, Bleak Falls sunlight. Some rare instance of me using a light with shadows. I don't like using them because it's hard to know what it's going to look like. Oh, you need a boulder to cover up that hole. fact, you know what I should do is this should be... Show sky... Pine forest. Just in case it peeks through. Where was that? There was a hole. I saw the hole. Oh, maybe I ducked under... I may have already fixed it. Yeah, I peeked under a rock. That's why I could see it. Okay. Don't use using spotlights because it's very hard to tell. Like, they don't render in Creation Kit. And maybe there's a way to make them render in Creation Kit, but I don't know. So it's hard to know what it... Oh, no, there is a... I am not crazy. There we go. Right there. So you have the tree, you have a gossip stone, and you can come along this way and go along here, and there's a little path that goes this way. There's a stall child that will ambush. You can jump off here and go down here, and currently there's no reason to do that, but I might make a reason. Might have a reason at some point. It could just be how this area is shaped. But there's a stall child here, there's a Tektite here, there's a Chew here, there's another Tektite, there's a couple Tektites. And then there's Spoiders, there's another Spriggan, there's a big Skulltula that will attack, and you want this key, because that key, that box, that chest has a key that will lead into Forest Temple. Skulltulas, patrol marker, you know. So one route gives you this balcony, the other one leads you right down into this area with the tree. And there's a book with a poem, as I am often going to do with these dungeons. So you make your way, and then you come up here, and that key opens this gate, and the gate leads to this area with Forest Temple. But the entrance to the Forest Temple has been covered up by all these roots and vines, and you can't get in. However, there's this pedestal, this dais here. What the heck could this possibly be? If you have the Harp of Ages, then you will be able to play the Harp of Ages and activate this. This is actually a time portal. Activate the time portal, and then you can use the time portal, and that warps you back in time, i.e. over here. Because otherwise it would be a loading screen, and I didn't want to have a loading screen. And this is the past. You can't go back into Dryatic Passage. It's blocked off. And the door's locked behind you. There's this purple fire kind of thing that, like, you can't get back there. So your only choice is to pick up a sapling, which seems to have disappeared. But there is normally supposed to be a sapling. Where the hell is the sapling? Should be... No, it should be there. It's just not rendering for some reason. It's not rendering at all. Oh, it's because I set it to textures. Oh, okay. It's just not loading. Okay, whatever. It's not loading, no big deal, but you pick up the sapling. And you could enter the forest temple right here. You would enter in the past, and that would lead you to the past version of the forest temple. Or you can go back to the present, and when you come back, once you pick up that sapling, these roots go away, and then you can enter the forest temple in the present. So you enter the forest temple, and these will not be lit, so those are disabled by default. You encounter a gray Wolfos, so I'm renaming things now. There are gray Wolfos. This is just Wolfos, so you'll find this and it will just be named Wolfos. And then the white Wolfos are now named white Wolfos, so I changed it around. Gray Wolfos just fight you. Nothing special. They might have poison. I don't think they do. But you fight the gray Wolfos, and you find yourself in the main area of the forest temple. This tree is not here. This tree is. These roots are here by default. So, and this thing is locked, so you can't really go anywhere. Everywhere is shut. So you have to go back in time, or if you entered through the past, then you can plant your sapling over here, and there'll be magic soil. It glows green. You can't really tell because of this green lamp that's right next to it, but that won't be there when you first encounter it. The green lamp, incidentally, I made custom, so that's a custom model. Custom normal textures. It uses the Paralyze gradient, so it uses Sovngarde Ashes and Custom Flames, which is pretty cool. I'm happy with it. You plant the sapling, and there's not much you can do in the past, except you can pick up this sapling, and then you can enter this room, and there'll be a vampire here. You kill the vampire, and then that triggers this Poe to appear in the present. Then there's this. This, in the past, is a sample of magic beans. You pick up the magic beans. Potentially, that might be what it is. I might change it so that it's like you have to do something else. But you go in here, something in here. You plant another sapling if you have one. You probably won't have one. Actually, you will have one. Never mind. You plant the other sapling, and that will make this bridge appear in the present. So you did all that stuff in the past. You go back to the present using the time portal, which is activated using Harp of Ages, which I already said. But this one will already be active because you activated the one in Dryadic Passage. So this one also activated. So this is here. This is no longer here, that's no longer here, which means this balcony is intact. In the present, when you first come in, these roots, these brambles have taken over and ripped it apart. But if you go into the past and get rid of this, the seedling, these are no longer here, so you can access this chest. That chest has a key in it. Since this is here, you can go up here and go down, fight the Stall Children and the Gold Skulltula. This is locked, can't go through there, so you go over here, you fight the Green Poe, who is always there, does not need to be activated. There's another sapling here, where that tree is. You take her torch, and then she has a key. You unlock this door, that allows you to get a shortcut around this way. When you pick up the sapling from here, that allows the things that are growing these roots to grow, to get the nutrients that this took. So this ends up blocking off. So you have to go up this way in order to access this in the present. So you fight the Stall Horse and the Blue Poe. You get her torch, so then you can light these two. And then you can go in here because this way is open because you got rid of these roots by removing the magic beans. You come over here. There's the purple Poe. You fight the purple Poe. You fight blue bubble. You get something from here, just, you know, bonus loot. You come up here, jump over there, and then you come up this way. The key that you got from this chest opens this. So you unlock that. You come in this way. There's just some random loot. You come in here, go down under the water in the past, and plant magic beans. You want to plant the magic beans there, because without the magic beans, you can't climb the Sheikah Tower. On top of the Sheikah Tower is the orange Poe. You fight the orange Poe, take her torch, light the final torch, and this becomes an elevator that goes down, and you fight the final boss down here. That's the Forest Temple. And yeah, it is pretty big. But it's like split between the past and present. So like this, I've planned it out in the present, so this will be the present version of the Forest Temple. It's only one cell, and they'll be split. So there will be a past version and a present version, and you'll be able to go back into the past, make changes that affect the present. And it'll be the first instance of a Sheikah Tower, and you can get a sense of how big the Sheikah Towers are, or how big they're going to be in Relics of Hyrule, because there's a Poe, and the Poes are human-sized, and she fits in there very nicely. So that's the size of the Sheikah Tower. It turned out incredibly well. I'm very pleased with how the Sheikah Tower turned out. But yeah, the Forest Temple, I'm really excited about it. When you fight the final boss down here, that will unlock this door, and this door leads to the Infusion Altar. And the Infusion Altar allows you to take weapons like forgotten weapons and infuse them with different effects. And the same will be for the Guardian weapons. When the Guardian weapons come into being, they will be infusible. Speaking of Guardian weapons, the Guardian Dagger will be hidden somewhere in version 6.6. So it'll be the first Guardian weapon that you'll be able to find. And it will be hidden. But yeah, the Sheikah Tower. I'll probably add some boulders here and there so it's not a perfect shaft like this. But this turned out so well. And in 6.7, when the Sheikah Slate is added and you can actually activate the Sheikah Towers, you'll be able to activate them and get information. I'm really happy with how it turned out. Like, I was not sure that I would be able to do it, but I did it, and it looks great. So yeah, Forest Temple. The basic layout is done, but this is just the present, so I need to duplicate this and copy it and have a corresponding time portal so that you can go back and forth. And it'll just be a lot of attention to detail, making sure that the Forest Temple in the past properly connects to the present, and that that it doesn't cause any problems. Like, there aren't any like cheapo ways to just jump down and fight the final boss. My plan is that you'll be able to fight the final boss in the past, and then that will make them disappear in the present. But the legendary weapon that they drop will still be available. You won't lose it. But the legendary weapon will only be present in the present. In the past, they use some generic weapon. But in the present, they use a legendary weapon. So it's a lot of moving parts with the Forest Temple. But yeah, this is the first Sheikah Tower. And this is generally what it's going to be like with the Sheikah Towers. I'm not going to have them erupt out of the ground like Breath of the Wild. Once 6.7 rolls around, there's going to be a bunch of Sheikah Towers and Sheikah Shrines throughout Skyrim. But the idea with Relics of Hyrule has always been, what if the hero never came and Hyrule fell? So this will be like, what if the hero never came and the Sheikah Towers never activated, and it's been so long that there's no reason for them to activate anymore. So they'll always stay underground. And I have another plan for one coming up where you come in from the top and work your way down to the bottom, and it leads somewhere else. Well, so I think what I'll do, first I'll save. I don't know what I did, but I'm going to save first. And then I'm going to duplicate this and make it make the past version. The past and present will be in the same cell, but they won't interact except through the Sheikah portal. I mean the time portal. And the time portal isn't a door, it's an activator that transfers you and only you. So that won't cause any problems. I should actually, before I do that, I should modify the script for the time portal so it places an explosion effect on you after it transports you. While it's loading, let's check this. Lots of Hyrule ideas. Well, turning guardian daggers into ancient arrows. Yeah, I'm really excited for this temple too. I was like really excited to design and build the Forest Temple. I had this idea of it being split across time, and it's just like it connects to Ocarina of Time and it connects to Oracle of Ages. And I'm just like, this is a great idea. I love it. Oh, that would make sense. Yeah, that would make sense. I just came up with another idea where the Rod of Seasons could be. If you fight the final boss in the past, you get the Rod of Seasons. So that's the only way to get the Rod of Seasons, is to go in the past and fight the final boss of the Forest Temple in the past. But the boss will always be there in the past. So you have a few options with the final boss. You can go into the past and fight them there, and then they won't appear in the present, but their sword will still be there. If you go and fight them in the present, you can fight them in the present, get their sword, and then go back in time and kill them with their own sword and get the Rod of Seasons. So there's a few options. And then once the forest temple is done, once I finish it up, which shouldn't take that long, honestly, it's already mostly done. It's just a matter of connecting everything together. Once the forest temple is done, then I'm going to move on to the archive. And that is going to be quite the undertaking. Once the archive is done, then version 6.6 will be done. It's been a long time coming. Cool. Okay. Let's see here. I need to take this entire setup and duplicate it. Go. So this is the present, and this is the past. So the past... This area right here is not accessible in the past. There's no... Oh. The boss for this dungeon... I actually haven't revealed the boss of the dungeon. The boss for this dungeon will be Death Sword from Twilight Princess. A little bit different though. In Twilight Princess you could use like wolf sense, and logically you would be able to use the Lens of Truth. I could actually, you know what? I might be able to make the Lens of Truth make Death Sword appear. Yeah, I might actually be able to do that. I'll have to see. But Death Sword is a Parotamu. But it will ultimately be an invisible Parotamu. So, let's see how that looks. And I think, yeah, I think that might be possible. I will have to double check. But it might be possible. There we go. So the idea is you'll fight Death Sword, and the Parotamu, the invisible Parotamu, will be down here in the dirt right here. And I deliberately made it so that the ambush marker is a little higher than it should be. Gotta make sure, is this the past or the present? I should mark them. I'm going to put a little... oh, no. Effects, camera effects. Camera effects. Effects. this will tell me that's the past. And this is the present. So I will change the primitive to blue. There we go. So that's the present, that's the past. There's no future session. There's no future section, no, because the way that Ocarina of Time and Oracle of Ages were set up is you could go from the past to the present, or from the present, past, past, present. So there's, in Ocarina of Time, there's young Link and adult Link. In Oracle of Ages, there's the past and the present, and that's it. I could add a third section, but that would make things needlessly complicated. It's complicated enough with 2 sections. But yeah, okay, so I should actually place Death Sword down here. As I was saying, this little Death Sword man, it's designed so that the sword is sticking out of the ground because the invisible Parutamu will be here. And so, let's see, is there an ambush? I mean, there's this. Now that's it stepping out of an alcove. That's not really what I'm looking for. Ah, special ground emerge. Okay, well maybe not. Special idol. Yeah, it's not really showing, but let's see, 2. Attack. Well, you get the idea. It'll get up. And the sword will just rise up from the ground, and you'll fight the sword. And I'll see if I can program it so that it like puts an effect or something on this enemy. That's so the Angry Giant animation. The way that Skyrim does things, this is a skeleton enemy. So it's essentially a Stalfos. And the Stalfos use the Draugr animations, and I can't make a Draugr or skeleton or anything like that use the animations that the giants use, because the giants have their own complete different rig. They have their own set of animations separate from the Draugr, separate from people, so I can't use the giant animations with the skeletal enemies. I deliberately made it a skeletal enemy, a Draugr based enemy, so that I could use this ground ambush animation marker, so that you can come down and it rises out of the ground as you would expect Death Sword to do. Maybe... I'll just do that for now. I don't know... Okay, that's not... Actually, not what I had in mind. I don't know why it's invisible. There we go. Okay. Okay, that is the present. And I'll have to cover this whole thing with black planes because otherwise people will notice it on the map. And while it is, it would be, I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it alone because it would make sense if you were drawing a map to draw it with the past and present versions. I don't know. Forest Temple Passage. Yes, that's what I want. Nope, I said yes. I meant yes. And this is not here in the past. That is. This is not here in the past. This rubble is here in the past. The dirt is. Potentially. Are you disabled by default? Yes. So then you don't exist. And all of these are not lit in the past. And they wouldn't burn into the future. This wouldn't be here in the past. It would be a sapling. So we're getting rid of that. And we're gonna put a sapling there. But the saplings aren't rendering. God bless America. I may have to... Here's what I might do. Put the sapling here. And then... This isn't here in the past. And you aren't here in the past. Neither is the stall horse. Get out of there. Get rid of that. This room is completely different. This has to be a sapling. Temple sapling. I'm gonna get rid of the chests. Get rid of the chests in the past. This would look completely different. So there's gonna be a support in the middle here, and this won't be here in the past. So I'm gonna change all this because that wouldn't be there. The Poe won't be here. Oh wait, I don't think this area is accessible. Oh no, yeah it is. If you have the right, yeah, so this would be accessible in the past. Rubble, because that wouldn't be there in the past. It would just be a happy little breach support. Go. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Wait. That's the present. Keep forgetting. This is the past. I was just surprised because this lines up to the grid, and I thought that I thought I messed up the past and that it wasn't. Well, it sort of lines up to the grid. It lines up enough to the grid that it's not that big a deal. I was just very surprised. What I just deleted. Okay, that, okay. I think this cave will be different in some way in the past. Like, maybe this roof is a little different. It doesn't need 2 north markers. That wouldn't have grown. These wouldn't be here. They're just happy and normal. Although those were kind of serving a purpose because this hallway is kind of messed up. So maybe those can come back. I'll just leave those there. Whatever. There's no Wolfos in the past. These are not lit. I'll leave those alone because I don't want to risk anything. And that shouldn't be there until the present. This isn't here because it's a sample of magic beans. Oh. That's not here. No, there's a rubble is here. He's glowing. That would not be there. Not in the present. Same with magic beams down here. That will not be here in the present. I'll just leave that there. Before I move into the... Whenever I switch cells, whenever I change to a different cell, I don't want to risk... I don't want to risk anything. I don't want to risk the tool tacking. Crashing. What the heck was... I don't even know why I would say talking. I'll respond to the ideas and Relics of Hyrule ideas after the stream. Which I will probably be wrapping up eventually. It's been 2 hours, 20 minutes. It might go a little longer. I might have like half an hour left. Ah, welcome. Waiting for Creation Kit to save. I've pretty much been in my house almost non-stop for the last, 8 weeks? Every so often I would go somewhere, like grocery store, but most I'm just staying put. Most of the time, just staying put. Oh wait, That's the past. This is the present. I just remembered I was meant to go into I was supposed to go into the Mad God Triadic Passage. I guess that works. I'll put them in the present. I don't want to put a Yiga in the past. Oh yeah, the Forest Temple will indeed have a time travel theme. This is the present, this is the past. There's a time portal right there. Beep, there's the time portal. And the idea is you go back in time. You enter in the present, or you enter in the past. It's complicated, it gets complicated, but you fight a bunch of Poes. And you have to solve puzzles by picking up saplings of trees so that they don't block your path and planting them in places where they will be able to build bridges and stuff. And the final Poe that you fight to get her torch is in a Sheikah tower. Which is really great. Past. Blue is the present, red is the past. The Yiga won't be here at all. I mean, it would make sense for the Yiga to be up here. Let's put a Yiga up here. No. Well... all this jumping back and forth between past and present, they might... there's definitely a chance that there would be a Yiga in the Sheikah Tower. Yes, there would be a Yiga up here. Yeah, I don't even live in the city. I live on a road that just so happens to be a conduit to a highway. And so, like, I live in the suburbs. It's actually pretty rural, but god dang, this road is too busy. Your mother was a hamster. No, I'm trying to think of a good acronym for the Yiga. I think I wrote one down. Potentially. Yiga acronyms. Ah! There we go. I knew I wanted to do a forest temple. That works. Works very well. Now, what the befarkle? Ah, okay. Oh yeah, wow, I numbered it perfectly. Man. Planning ahead. Alright. Yiga, Forest Temple. Plan letter 6, thank you, friend. And the Yiga up here. And it is possible that this Yiga decides to riggedy wreck this Poe, and if he does, that's okay by me. And if they live together in perfect harmony, so be it. But if you get up there and he's killed the Poe, all the more reason to hate the Yiga. He's a ponytail. Maybe he doesn't. I'll just leave him the way he is. Okay, so we have that. That's the present. There's nothing here in the past. You can't get up there in the past. But it looks exactly the same. So there should be something here. There should be something pretty gnarly here. Forest. Oh, well, there's one thing that should be here, and that's the dirt. The rich dirt. Rich dirt. Pop. That way you can grow a tree to serve as a bridge. Cave deep dirt mounds. Put some dirt over here. Nice. recently discovered the wonders of Thicket. Just put it somewhere, bam, instant scenery. But there should be a boss battle, a mini boss here. So let's see what's in the fourth temple. There's Wolfos. We already did Wolfos. Oh, how much I wish I could have Floor Masters and Wall Masters. But alas, I cannot. I should write that down for a possibility for a Yiga acronym. That's all those two. I might change the first word to be something else. Although there are only two that start with yes. I think I've been pretty varied with the different Y words. I'll just leave it. I'll use that for something. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your submission. Like, that actually is really good. Use that. I don't want to add Skulltulas. Maybe I should just have a bunch of vampires in the past. That could work, just having vampires in the past. That would make it challenging, because then you'd be like, oh dang, I have to go into the past? Oh, where's the next vampire gonna show up? You know, just never knowing when the next vampire is gonna rear their ugly head. Now, this is... I could have Stalfos in the past. I could have vampires in the past. That would be perfectly reasonable. So let's put him in. I'll have him. And Oh, wait, yeah, you can't access this in the past. Because there's no way up here in the past. Spriggans, there's Spriggans and Dryadic Passage, which is the passage that leads here. I think they would be guarding it, but I don't see them inside. Yeah, there's 4 guarding it outside. But I think inside, just gonna have purely Relics of Hyrule enemies. Oh, wait, no! Ooh, that's not good then. There needs to be a way up here in the past. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to plant the magic beans. So there needs to be a staircase right here. Yeah, there has to be a way up there in the past. But in the present, that staircase has been destroyed. And so you need to plant the sapling so that you can get the staircase back. So you can't keep the staircase from falling apart. Oh, what's this? Why the heck? Oh, well, that's an easy fix. Okay, there we go. So there's a staircase there in the past, but not in the present. In the present, there's a pile of rubble. So I will... That's a little annoying. There we go. I'll grab this lumpy floor to put right here. To kind of cover. Yes, ruined floors cover a multitude of sins. As do trees. And rocks. And boulders. They all cover a multitude of sins. Let's see. Rubble. Akabiri rubble pile. Give me that rubble pile. Is there a Sky Haven rubble pile? Rubble pile? Rubble. Sky Haven rubble pile. Let's do rubble pile 4. Thank you. Rubble pile 4. Thanks for... No. Get out of here, rubble pile 4. Rubble pile 2. Ooh, that's big. It's more or less what I'm looking for. Doesn't really look like a staircase. Alright, let's go to the Akabiri set and get some stairs. Stairs. Stair 3 full. Full 2? Full 1. Full 1. Full 1. Full 1. Full 1. They have collapsed in the present. They are unusable. So, let's get some more rubble. I rejected rubble pile 4 before. I apologize, rubble pile 4. You actually are what I needed. There, that looks good. there should be another column. So it's a little... There. That works. Although, maybe that rubble collapsed. I mean, that column collapsed. So in the past, there is one. In the present, there is not. That's tedious. I'll just leave it alone. This cave... There's nothing in here except a sapling. So I'm going to hit F5. It's going to reload everything. So I need to be able to see those saplings. I'll probably end the stream in about 15 minutes. There's still work to be done on the Forest Temple, but 3 hours is about the length of time that I can go before I start slowing down. Okay. There's the sapling. Doesn't really stand out, but I can make it stand out. I think I'll place all the saplings in the past, and then I'll end the stream once I place all the saplings and get them all set up, their scripts. Okay. Disable Haylock on load. And I want it. Okay. I think if I just copy that sapling, I can paste it in other places. So, you, little boy, get out of there. And the magic beans will be there. I guess I do need a flora for the magic beans so you can pick them up. I'll do that later. Let's see, there's one think those are the only 2 saplings. There's one there. You plant it here. There's one here. You plant it there. There's one over here that ends up being extra. And that's okay. So now I have to make sure I need the disable. It should not respawn. That wouldn't be good. Okay, disable. I think that's what the script was. I'm gonna look at. It's a very simple disable script. Yes. Okay. So these changes are permanent. You can't replant the sapling after you rip it out of the ground. So that sapling disables that. And then this sapling over here, where are you? That sapling will disable that one. Yes. So I'll explain the post-sisters in a moment. They won't be named. It won't be like Beth, Joelle. They won't have the names. But they are in here, and they're actually kind of vital to the... That's not the one it disables. What am I doing? It disables this one. Okay. So, we'll look at them in the present. They're only in the present. So you come in, you go into the past, and then you can access this area, and you can fight the blue pole, and she has a blue torch. And then you can relight the blue torch. In the present. So I'm not sure what I'll do with those. I might just get rid of them in the past. They're just not there. You won't be able to do anything with them. You can only relight them in the present. And then you can go in here, and there's the green Poe, and she has a custom green torch, wearing a Farron robe. I'm tempted to name them, but I'm not sure. There's also the purple Poe, Meg, and she has her custom purple thing. She's wearing blue ring. Oh no, yeah, blue ring robes. And then, oh wait, why isn't she on the Sheikah Tower? Nah, doesn't matter. I'm not gonna bother. Then there's Joelle. She's up there with her orange thing. I am really reluctant to name them. I did give them unique names, so instead of just calling them Poe, one is... There's the Bound Poe, the Pledged Poe, the Hallowed Poe, and the Sworn Poe. And those are sort of, if you look up the meaning of Margaret, Amelia, Joelle, and Elizabeth, these are loose translations of the meanings of those names. So I didn't just randomly assign them names. I tried to make it consistent. I think I'll leave it alone. I'll leave Joelle up here and Meg down there. It's okay if the one wearing blue ring robe isn't on the Sheikah Tower. That's not a big deal. Besides, you know, orange has to be down here because that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be arranged. Put a tiny little light. Just a subtle green light on here. No, that's a little too obvious. I could open... Oh, wait. There we go. Just have light streaming out of that. Right on there. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, actually, I guess it is. Put a little streamy that is really just very silly. Just how that, like, it doesn't align with the light. That's just silly. Another sapling here. It's right there. That should be... should somehow... those won't be there. There's... every reason to put these here. Just like that, perfect size. Yeah, it might. Yeah, that might be. It might just be references to a couple real people. Just realized something that I'll need to change in a moment. This should be a female Poe. I mean, it should be a female Hylian. There we go. Because then that implies that she becomes the Poe that's in that room, and this one becomes the Poe that's in this room. They look the same. I should probably change that. Nah, Bub comes in with the glorious Chungus. Okay, these are not here. I need to get rid of them. They are not here and nothing can be done with them. Just empty. But I will have to make custom activators for the present based on that model. So okay. Duplicate this. And it needs to be the Akaviri. It's not the brazier, it's the big pot. Big pot. Big pot. Architecture temple. No, it's dungeons. Dungeons. Akaviri. Clutter. No. Detail. Get out of here. Detail. Big pot. Ah! Okay, big pot. Light. Okay, I made it. It exists. Did I? Yes. Big pot. All big pots. We're gonna control F. So far I've been doing pretty good. I'm working on the forest temple. And I don't know how many mines I blew with this. But I'm very happy with that thing. Oh, I've deselected it. Right. There we go. So now those should activate. I'll set up the script for this. So this should remove the torch. Special torch item. Forest Temple. Green Amy. Amount needed 1. No. Enabled. It should be the light. It should be the light. Because the light is the source. Okay. Something was respawning. Oh, it was the sapling. Sapling should not respawn. Okay, that one's fine. This one is not fine. Do not respawn. There's only one of you. You are unique. So yeah, this is the past and this is the present, and you'll pop back and forth between your past and present using the time portal. And what I'm gonna do is well, it's fortunately for you, I'm actually gonna stop the stream very soon. So this was just a little taste of what I'm going to do. No item. Not enough. Ref to be enabled. It is that. Yes. Alright. So I will finish those other two. And then I'll end the stream. So these two I will just open up here, and I'm going to try to quickly finish them. Amount needed 1. Amount needed 1. Item needed. Oh no. I got confused. Hang on, I can't do that. Can't do it that way. Has to be done one by one, because I don't know which is which. Okay. Item needed. Torch. No. Forest Temple. Forest Temple. Blue Torch. Beth. No item. ROH. No item. Not enough. ROH. Not enough. Ref to be enabled. Please select the light. That is not the light. Please select the light. Thank you. That one's done. This one is next. Amount needed 1. Item needed is Forest Temple Violet. No, it's no item. Oh, it's not enough. Ref to be enabled. Please choose the purple light. You did. Congratulations. Alright. I think that is going to be it for the stream, so I thank everybody for joining me. And I am happy that I was able to do a stream again, that I actually had the motivation to do it. So hopefully I'll be able to do these more often, and until next time, whenever the heck that is, I bid you farewell. If you're not already a member of the Discord, definitely check it out. There's a link on the Nexus mod page for Relics of Hyrule. And that's where I post a lot of mod development. So with that, I bid you farewell, and I will say, see you later. Professionalism. End of the stream. There it is.